We are family.
Hi, this is Gena.
I got Gena's daddy with me.
Welcome to Gena's Daddy.
Welcome to Gena's daddy,
This
guys.
is one of our silly shows again. Here we go. You know, today I want to talk about things that have positively affected me this week in the way of family unity. I'm so pleased to see that more and more people and organizations are responding to the needs of families being together, united behind each other's goals and desires and just things that they want for each other, and encouraging each other to be themselves. I think that's wonderful. What do you think?
I think so as well. I think like we really need to get more back to that, like how they used to be back in the day, like when you were growing up. And like I think encouraging the kids more and spending more time with the kids, because now like TV and the internet and all of that are like raising the kids in a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, I was about to say comedically, big word I'm trying to use, but I was about to say in a comical sense that we were encouraged in a way differently than what you would think of encouragement these days. We were told, you got to be something, you got to do something.
You gonna do it.
We going to the park today, or we going to Auntie's house today. We gonna have a barbecue today, and that was family unity, because the head of the house said we, and there was no separatism in the family. We meant we. Well, I don't want to go. I'm going to go out with my boyfriend. I'm going to go out with my girlfriend. I'm going to go to my friend's house. We are going to the park.
And you couldn't do that back then. You couldn't be like, I'm not going.
It was you was going. We. They said we, and that was it. We. And that we is powerful.
Yeah.
You know, in the days before that time, when you said we, I think back to biblical terms in days when Joshua said to everybody in a speech one day, he said, choose ye this day who you will serve. But as for me and my family, we will serve the Lord. And a man could make that statement then because the house followed the head. And I want to make this clear to you. I understand that the man is head of the family and the woman is head of the household. So don't nobody write me and jump on me about that. I had to learn that the hard way. But they followed the head, and the Lord chose the man to be the head because he held that man responsible for the upkeep of their family. Let's get back to those days.
Because it's truly been lost. Like there's not a you don't see that anymore in families. Even if it is a man there, even if it is like a father actually in the house, you don't really see him being the head anymore, because the woman has to take on such a huge role now. She's head of the household and becoming head of the family and all of that. Like she's taking on all those roles now.
Because we as a culture has delegated that role to the woman.
Well, that stems from all the way back during, well, I can't just say slavery times, because now it's affecting every culture, every color, every race now.
Even then, it has its roots in slavery time, because the family could be uprooted and taken apart anytime the overseer or the master saw fit to do so.
Sure.
And the man would allow his wife to go and serve the master so that they could stay together. The man, and not just in the black culture, but in a lot of cultures, what a lot of people don't understand is slavery wasn't just brought on by the blacks being enslaved.
Right.
You had bond slaves coming across on the Mayflower. They were slaves. Bond servants, criminals that owed money to the realm, had come over and serve out their time and everything.
There's plenty
so
of people
you know, there's a lot of people.
The Hebrews were slaves.
The Hebrews were slaves.
I mean, it goes.
Right, it just goes.
Yeah.
But the culture of slavery is the same.
Yeah.
You had the head, the master, and the servant.
That's it.
So regardless of what race it was still the same principle.
Mm-hmm.
But and we have a lot to work on. But in our race, in our culture, the black man had delegated the head to the woman because a lot of the houses in my time when I was coming up was headed by women. And you do what you know.
Even in your time?
Even in my time. That's when I believe, well, I can't speak for everybody,
When
but
it started
welfare,
happening.
right, welfare for the black families were dictated by certain things. The woman could not have a man in the house. You split the family up.
Right. Or else you wouldn't get money. It's
Or
like
you
the
wouldn't get
movie
money.
Claudine. Remember on Claudine, like when Diane Carroll had to hide the toaster,
Right.
and James Earl Jones was over there, so he had to hide in the closet.
You couldn't have anything.
Yeah,
and it was so sad because if the black woman had a son that was maybe 9 years old but had feet size 12 or 14, man, that was enough to get her kicked off welfare because they suspected there was a man in the house.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm serious. So you can see how that would divide and say, well, no, wait a minute, there's no man. I can't have a man in the house. So now the woman's head.
And then she has to make a choice because she's like, I have to take care of my kids, or either have this man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the man, even he couldn't. And welfare was brought in as a subsidy. But then they used it to divide the black families by saying, you have no other income, so this is your primary need.
It became a form of control.
Right, it was a form of control. Yeah. This is your primary need, so you have to abide by our rules to get this.
Yeah.
So any man that cared for his family and wanted to see his family eat or something, whether it was because I can not be here in the daytime and come back at night and get something to eat too, and hang out on the corner, hang out somewhere trying to find a piece of job, but it divided the family. So the black woman in our culture was delegated as the head of the family and the household.
And taking control.
So by the time I came along, we had these stupid sayings by men that was trying to help us the best they could, keep you a spare and all that crazy stuff, and we did what we knew.
Let's keep you a spare, like spare woman.
You got a spare tire, don't you? Oh, okay. I'm telling you, culture.
Like the Isley brothers said, keep it in the layaway. Save it for a rainy day.
Save it for a rainy day. And unfortunately, that culture abided, and we got further and further away from the thinking of Joshua, and started thinking in terms of man himself that said, put it in the layaway, keep you a spare, and I don't have to be here because if I don't have to have a house to put in, she's already got a house, I just go live with her until she puts me out.
Yeah.
So we got further and further away from the teachings of the Bible.
From it.
Because the Bible teaching, if you look at it and read the stuff, the man's job was to provide for the family.
And take care.
You wanted a wife, you took that wife and you had a place to put in, a home, some land. You had whatever she needed to provide for the family, and she took care of the family while you provided for the family.
Yeah.
So you see down the line, and each generation got further and further away from the teachings of the Bible, and now we're coming back. We're coming back. And that's the good thing.
Yeah.
That a lot of people and organizations now are seeing the need for family unity and the small things that can be provided to kids and the families.
And you are starting to see more men now step up to be like, I'm going to be a father, I'm going to stay here. Now see, if you watch, like, because you always watch CNN and MSNBC and all that type of stuff, they kind of believe, like, that the reason why people are staying together more now, like the divorce rates are going down now than when they were before, is because financially it's easier for the person to stay. And I mean, if you're looking at it from that viewpoint.